Sheriff's Office. If you have an emergency, hang up and dial 911. If this is not an emergency, please listen to the following options. You may press star to repeat these options at any time. To report a crime, make a police report, or talk to police dispatch, press 1. For police records, civil paper processing, concealed handgun license. Lane County Sheriff's Office, is this an emergency?
No, it's not. Is this the non-emergency?
Please hold.
Okay. So what I'm thinking, my question right now is, I'm dialing not 911. I'm dialing the non-emergency number, and then every time I get, like right now, she called me and said, "Is this an emergency?" Well, why is she saying that if I didn't call the not? I mean, the other lady told me that they also, I mean, one of my calls, she said they also answer for 911 calls, but I believe that would be a sticky situation for people that are calling not, 911 is for 911, non-emergency is for non-emergency. So it may be causing conflict with employees and how they're treating the person who's calling on the phone, to a point of it being detrimental to citizens trying to make calls and ask questions, and trying to even ask, like, what's the right way to present, this? Because when I call the non-emergency number, I expect to wait in line like everybody.
Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Hi, thank you. So I apologize. You are not in my district, but I had a question when I called my district that I felt maybe I was doing something wrong, so I wanted to ask you if you have time for a question, if that's
Go
okay.
ahead.
So what it is I needed to talk to an officer about 3 or 4 different law codes, but that I think I might be a victim of, but because I'm not 100% sure if I understand the law code correctly, is that something an officer would do, or no, you would need to talk to a lawyer about something like that?
It depends on what the specific question is. We can't provide legal advice. However, if it's regarding a specific criminal ORS, like what's the definition of criminal mischief, we usually refer people back to an actual statute.
Okay.
To look and see specifically what they say.
Okay, so
what address do you live at?
I live in Drain, so I know I'm out of your jurisdiction. I'm with Douglas County Sheriffs, but I've made several attempts to report crimes, and I run into an issue every single time. So my question is, if say I wanted to ask an officer about obtaining communications, ORS 165.4540, would you be able to just tell the officer that's what I want to talk about, or would that be not enough information for you?
So we don't have a lot of, I'm so sorry, give me one moment, I'll bring it back.
No problem.
So we don't have enough deputies. If somebody has a question regarding a criminal statute, to be able to be like, let me get you to a deputy. I would ask you specifically, do you think a crime has been committed where somebody's reported you when they shouldn't have?
Okay.
If your answer was yes, then I would put that information in and have a deputy reach out and contact you about it, or have you fill out what's called a citizen self-report form. Every agency is different.
Okay.
It kind of depends on the jurisdictional bounds. Sometimes we have contract cities where they get a deputy response for anything, such as Crestwell and Bonita.
Okay.
So asking those kinds of questions is part of
their job, and the city pays for that deputy to be able to answer those kinds of things.
Is there a way I would be able to find out if Drain has that type of service?
You would need to contact Douglas County Sheriff's Office and talk to them about it.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you just have certain questions, most of the time in a situation like that, a dispatcher can tell you if something's criminal or non-criminal, but we're not going to interpret the law for you. That's where a lawyer would come in.
Okay. So I apologize.
If
Let me.
you thought a crime was committed and everything you told me sounded that way, then I would definitely put in a call and have a deputy follow up. If you're just inquiring about a certain law, that's not something we're going to be able to give you specifics on.
Okay, so if I believe it's a situation where I'm not just inquiring, I believe I am a victim of the crime. And like, say it's subjecting another person to involuntary servitude. And the reason why I'm asking is because I'm trying to understand if I'm correct about the law. Would that be not something you would do? Or would that be kind of like inappropriate and you would say, no, you'd probably talk to a lawyer
I
or
would ask
something?
you specifically what happened.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't have you be telling me what crime you thought it was. I would have you tell me the incident on what occurred, and then I would determine based on the incident if I feel like a crime's been committed, and if so, or 51% chance one has, I'd put it in and have a deputy contact you.
Okay.
But
So
every
if it's
agency's
subjecting
different. If you
someone
don't like the response you're getting from that sheriff's office, you need to ask to speak to somebody higher up, a sergeant, a supervisor, something along those lines. But
Okay.
every agency is different, so the way that our agency operates doesn't necessarily mean that's how Douglas County is going to.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. That was really helpful. I appreciate your assistance.
Yeah, not a problem. And like I said, that's just something, if you don't like the answer you're getting, definitely ask to speak to somebody else higher up.
Okay, I will. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
You're welcome.
And bye-bye.
Bye.